I was just thinking about something while I was doing my coloring. I always hear just the best advice about how important emotions are and how important it is to feel them in the moment when you feel them. But we spend so much time trying to control our emotions that we kind of deny ourselves the ability to feel them, because we think that denying ourselves the ability to feel those things is what control over our emotions is, when I think trying to do that actually leads to the opposite effect. And that means that, oh, I'm feeling this feeling, so now I need to immediately feel different. That's not allowing yourself to feel the emotion that you're feeling in the moment, and you're not controlling your emotions. You're allowing your emotions to decide what you express. And so it kind of gets flipped on its head. And then this idea that we're supposed to feel an emotion but not show it outwardly because it's too disruptive, it's inconvenient, people don't understand it. It's very exhausting. It's very, very exhausting, because you sit there worrying that if I express this thing too animatedly or too just at all, that somebody is going to think that I'm crazy. But then you just completely negated all of the advice that was ever given about feeling how you feel in the moment and being okay with that. Because you can't, emotions aren't meant to be felt alone. It's a communal thing. Emotions are meant to send a signal to other people that something is going on. And if you don't express those emotions to send signals to other people that something is going on, then they just end up becoming a burden more than anything else. And that's awful. That's really awful. And that's not what they should be. And it's really sad when other human beings see the emotion and they don't respond in the way they're supposed to, because they were taught that those emotions were meant to be kept under wraps. So if you have emotion and you express them to another human being and they don't respond properly, it's not your fault. It's not your fault. It might not even be their fault, because that's just how they were taught. And it's very frustrating. But that doesn't mean you have to keep everything inside. That doesn't mean, if you think you struggle with patience because you've gotten angry, just because you've gotten angry doesn't mean you struggle with patience. Anger is a response to an injustice that you may see. It might be a small injustice, or it might be a huge injustice. But that anger in and of itself is not a signifying factor that you don't have patience. In fact, if you get angry about something and you have the drive to do something about that injustice, that takes incredible patience. To want to actually take actions and steps to correct something that you see is wrong. It takes incredible patience to notice things about yourself that you know you need to correct, or that you know that you need to work on. But you cannot always be trying to fix yourself simply because you have emotions that other people find inconvenient. Because that's how you break. And I don't know what to say about if you're in a situation where anytime you express your emotion in a way that people find uncomfortable, I can't tell you what you can do to make that better, except that you're not the only person that struggles with it. And I know that could be very hollow coming from just a person on a screen, to say that you're not alone. because you still are, because you can't talk to the person on the other side of the screen, because you're not allowed to do that. I mean, you could talk to me. My DMs are wide open. I'm not famous, so I'm here. Maybe one day I will be famous, but I don't count on it. I'm one person. But I'm one person who doesn't like to see another hurting human being and not be able to do anything about it. And sometimes I can't do anything about it. Sometimes it's just not in the cards for me to be able to do anything. But I'm not a person who doesn't at least try. And nobody is ever going to tell me that asking a person if they need help and what I can do for them, if anyone tells me that that's wrong or that I shouldn't do that, no, it's not. And I will always do that anytime that I can. And I'll respect people's boundaries. I'm not invasive. If I ask and they say no, I'll go. But I always have an open door. And if you need shoes, and I have shoes, you have shoes. And that goes with anything else that I have the ability or the willingness to give. Out of my abundance or out of my poverty. I will never overlook someone who I see is in need. Because that's who I am. And that's something I really love about myself. That I don't think many other people, well, no, you know what? I don't know who sees it. But the people who notice it, thank you. And the people who don't, I don't know where you're looking, but it's not at me. So don't be afraid to help those you see who are in pain. When you see those emotions, that is a hurting person. And you should have empathy and compassion on them, not judgment, not fear. Be wise about those you help. Have good discernment, and you're gonna make mistakes. But you can do it. And I believe in you. Okay, bye.